Back in January, we were joking around at the possibility of Donald Trump becoming Speaker of the House. I didn't think it was a real possibility, but it was fun to joke about. Now we're coming up against this exact same scenario. This time, Donald Trump's been hemmed up in New York multiple times on the rape charge, on the fraud charges, and then Manhattan and 3 other charges, Georgia and the feds. Arrested 4 times, multiple civil cases. Madness. So we're in a whole different energy now. Now Donald Trump's like, remember when we were talking about that speaker role? I would be an idiot to not consider it. Trump is considering a trip to Congress before speaker election. Let's go! It's our house now. I think the whole thing, we need to take this whole thing over and just go full-blown populist, full-blown MAGA. The implications are crazy. In looking at these rules and thinking about it, do you realize there is nothing in the Constitution that says someone can't be president and Speaker of the House at the same time? There's nothing. You could have legal challenges. We don't know if he would be voted in. There is nothing legally stopping. You can take it to the Supreme Court. There's conflict of interest because you've got 2 separate branches. And let me not give the establishment, because they would have Nancy Pelosi be president, speaker, Senate Majority Leader, everything at the same time, which is impossible, but you know what I mean. There's nothing stopping this from happening. Absolutely nothing. Donald Trump, you can challenge it in the courts if you want, but Donald Trump could become speaker if he was voted in. That'd be very difficult. You've got all these DeSantis people and corporate people. So let's just think about this, though. If he could hem them up in some way, he could become Speaker of the House and then still run for president, and he could be President of the United States and Speaker at the same time. This is a political article. Trump's open to pitching himself as Speaker. It's getting where it's happening, y'all. If it happens, Trump would become Speaker of the House. This is, again, from the article. Sometime before the lawmakers' internal speaker election, so he could be a temporary Speaker of the House, which is set to happen on Wednesday. A final decision hasn't been made yet. The full GOP will meet Tuesday for an internal candidate forum. It remains a long-shot idea. The House has never elected a speaker who wasn't a member of Congress, but the House makes their own rules. The House, that's not even debatable. It is a fact that the House can pick whoever they want to be Speaker of the House. And the judicial branch can't step in. There's no legal recourse there. Now, what could happen is if he becomes president and speaker, then the judicial branch could come in, because now you've got, how can you be your own check and balance in the separation of powers? But as far as just becoming speaker, that ain't even debatable. The House makes their own rules. You can't sue the Supreme Court and be like, that's the House rules. Trump could, now, if there's a subpoena coming from the House, then maybe you could do it just like the J6 committee. You could say, well, they didn't follow their own rules. The judicial branch doesn't have to, confirm their subpoenas. They could say, I don't know what they would say there. I don't even know what the solid argument would be against, but you could challenge it once the House wants to do something. So they want to do a subpoena and go outside the House, then anything is fair game to look at. But Trump could run into problems with the GOP Conference Rules, which state a member of GOP leadership is required to step aside if indicted for a felony for which a sentence of 2 or more years imprisonment may be imposed. Trump's he got 91 counts or whatever. He's got well beyond the 2 years. But again, it's House rules. When they say GOP conference rules, all they mean is the GOP members of the House. They can change that. So that's why Trump's going in. Let's see what happens. It'll be funny. It would break the internet. It would break everything. And I think that's what we need to do figuratively.